Well,
this is crazy.
This is what we're talking about. Mike Ryan's Freightliner. We'll show you around back. Probably the biggest turbocharger I've ever seen. Huge straight six. You said it had about 14 liters or something.
14.7 liter Detroit diesel. Yeah.
Not quite as big as a Viper, but still good sized motor.
Shoehorned in a Viper.
Is that an overhead cam motor?
It is an overhead exhaust cam motor. Yes.
Overhead exhaust cam motor.
Fuel injected. I guess it's intake as well. I'm not allowed to touch it.
Yeah.
I get to wipe off the chrome valve cover.
Keep it shiny and stuff.
But Detroit sends smart guys out here to keep it well lubricated.
And again, almost 2,000 horsepower. But did we figure out how much torque? Because that'd be off the charts, right?
By the way, it's close to 2,000 horsepower at what, like 1,900 RPM?
Well, it maxes out at 2,450 RPM. When Detroit Diesel built this engine, it dynoed at about 1,600 horse. And then BD Turbo and Borg Warner came out and put this compounding turbo system on it because I really couldn't drive it. It just had this mega... Yeah, it was the biggest light switch I ever held on to.
Oh, wait a minute. The turbo would kick on and you just couldn't control it.
Right. It just became, your Cobra on an icy parking lot, And so now this compounding turbo is really linear, it's very drivable right off the bottom. So when you're driving in the dirt, it's all throttle when you're playing like you're a sprint car driver.
Any power adders like propane or any of that stuff?
No, I'm just running straight diesel. I mean, there's plenty of stuff we could put in. I do have an alcohol injection into the intake system, which really kind of helps cool the fuel and does give it a little more stuff. Snow performance built that.
It's rear wheel drive.
Right.
It's ZF transmission that came from what?
The European Super Truck series. They race these things in Europe.
I like the fact that they're nuts over there.
I remember seeing like years ago they took a show and they were running some of the European super trucks on a track, and they threw a couple of drivers up there, and they said they almost couldn't drive it fast because it was too spooky to be that high above the road doing the high G turns. And I go, that is nutty though. They were hauling freaking.
The nice thing is you get to see more of the track sooner than anybody else, so you know what's coming and you set up for it. And once you get used to, this thing goes pretty flat, actually.
How does I always wonder about I wonder about the economics of the Super Truck Race Series, but on our American version of that is the tractor pull, where the guy's got the 5 blown big blocks. 4 of them are facing this way, one of them is facing that way. How do you make enough money to support this? I know what you got going, but like in the European Truck Series, is it that big a sport over there?
In Germany at the Nürburgring in July, that's the largest of the Super Truck Series, and they have anywhere from 210 to 220,000 people show up. So tell me an event here in the United States, or tell me a Formula One event
Burning
that
Man.
sells that many. Besides Burning Man
bunch of hippies
and Woodstock
from the Sierra Club trying to pave Pikes Peak.
Damn
I say, Sierra Club, take a hike to hell. That's what the bumper sticker on the back of this
hike
baby.
Well, I do have this really good sticker you got to look at, and I'm sort of proud of.
Let's see. If I wanted to pave Pikes Peak, would the Sierra Club have said no? Ooh, that's interesting, because it is a good point. You get this notion that it's not so much about the environment; it's about you're an ugly American. So before I tell you what I want to do as a Sierra Club, you tell me what you want to do, and I'll just do the opposite because you're an ugly American who likes to burn fossil fuels.
Yeah, anything with a motor on it, you're already doing.
Right.
You're a bad guy.
I'm looking at a fuel. What looks like a fuel cell.
That's a fuel cell. We carry about 15 gallons. And we eat up about 11 of them.
And how fast we eat up 11?
In the 12 and a half miles to the summit under race speeds, and the 12 and a half miles coasting back downhill at the end of the race.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out that battery setup there, and I'm not sure, Sandy, you know batteries better than I do. What is that? 2 batteries?
Well, it's 24-volt operating system on the starter and operating system on the computers for the transmission and all that kind of stuff. So it's a pair of 12s.
I see.
In series from Braille. So I got these cute little race car batteries. That
little tiny
you get to
batteries.
save a couple of pounds.
It is funny because
which is an effort.
I love that you're saving weight on a truck that weighs 9,900 pounds.
I got it.
Well,
Most of it's the iron motor.
Most of it is
why
that 2,600-pound engine, and then all the junk that is around it to keep it going.
I was laughing at that because I have those in like my Datsun Roadster and 610 and Z car and stuff because you save a few pounds on a small battery. But also the way they're put together, I couldn't tell if there was two of them. And then I thought, what the hell kind of battery is this? But we'll get a shot of that.
But our frame is aluminum. This is a aluminum frame rail that you would spec in a fuel hauler, where you want to keep your tractor light so you can haul more volume.
Like the powder coat.
But this is all steel, roll cages and stuff. And Freightliner actually developed this on their computer, so it's had all that torsional stress and twist analysis kind of stuff.
Well, they have that long history of diesel racing and truck racing.
They've been in it for a long time now.
Now, these tanks here.
One cools the brakes. I have little nozzles that go into the center of the rotors to cool the brakes.
Like spray, actually.
Right, and they're on a timer.
What do they spray?
Water.
Uh-huh.
And I just fill that with water, and the other one I fill with ice water. It's kind of like a whiskey still. There's a coil in there, so the return fuel, since we're carrying such a small amount of fuel, a diesel only uses about 10-15% of what gets presented to the injector.
Oh, really?
So 85 or so percent goes back into the tank, and it gets hotter than blazes. But that's what that's for, is to take the heat away from the injectors. So that's a whiskey still that we fill full of ice water, and it cools the fuel before it goes back in.
And Willwood did the brakes.
Well, Willwood's been trying to help me get better brake actuation. These are actually brakes that you'd find on like a big Penske truck or a Ryder truck, these hydraulic disc brakes.
So it looks like we're looking at two turbos here.
It's a compounding turbo, so starting with the exhaust out of the engine down there, that's the smaller turbo actually gets spooled up from the exhaust and sends pressure into this bigger guy and gets it going. So the little one's snappy and the big one is there to give us that extra 350 horse.
That is a humongous freaking turbo.
It's big.
Like Borg Warner said, it's the biggest turbo they make in this arena. When you start talking about freight trains and big ships, then they go up to something else. But
Sure.
It's got a Watts. It's got a 3-link rear end with a Watts linkage.
Mammoth Watts linkage.
And we've got a collapsible, compressible top link to take some of the tire shock off.
Unbelievable.
The wing is an IndyCar short course wing that's been doubled from about mid-90s Champ Car.
Does it have some movement to it? It sort of looks like the way it's mounted is. It looks like it might sway a little bit.
No, that's pretty hard mount. I did have the main spar made out of carbon fiber at one point, but then I did a thing at El Mirage, and it was too much wing, and we demolished that wing. So now I've got carbon fiber diffusers and an aluminum wing for the main section.
Where's the CB?
Gotta get this. I'm missing a CB and a cup holder. Right?
Well, you got the Naked Lady mud flap.
Got the chrome naked mate. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
can't leave home without them, right?
That's part of the truck.
Yeah, I got a couple of seats in case, full cage, full instrument, digital instrumentation. How do you operate the drift brake, theoretically?
That's the Willwood pedal. It's a little bit backwards. This is the main four-wheel brake, and this is the rear separate set of calipers. Now we're going to completely change this and put the regular four-wheel brakes on this pedal and put a second pedal, which you'd normally think of as a clutch pedal.
Right.
I'm going to put actually the front brakes on the normal brake pedal, the rear brakes on a matching pedal with separate boosters and masters. So this is all coming out. And then this right pedal, the front brake pedal, will have an overlap on it, so that if I want all four brakes, I just sort of step on that. But if I want to lock the tail, I just move my foot left, roll it off,
right,
and I can just lock up the tail to rotate the thing around. Because there's so many switchbacks at Pikes Peak and Mount Washington.
So this thing did Pikes Peak, would have been the 7th fastest rally car up the thing, which is
I love that it
unbelievable.
shamed a lot of probably all-wheel drive guys.
A lot of guys in their Subarus pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
But now that Pikes Peak is 3/4 of the way paved, at least, what tire do you run? Obviously, you need some tread for when you get off the road, but slick's a little better on the blacktop.
Right.
What do you run?
Well, Michelin, it's hard. Obviously, you can't get racing compound truck tires.
At the tire rack, no?
But we do. I've got a Michelin. Firstly, built us a set. They also own BF Goodrich, so the first thing they did was build us a set of the Baja Project rubber compound on truck cases. Mm-hmm. And then I wanted some more bites, so these are some stock tires here, but I've got some Trans Am Racing Rain compounds that that we use at Pikes Peak and stuff. So it's pretty neat that I've at least got a few choices.
And eventually, when it goes full paved, you'll just run slicks, or is there still a fair amount of dirt that's on the road? No,
the road gets cleared off pretty well, so I'll probably run something closer to a slick, and definitely use like the Rain compound because I only need to go 12 and a half miles, so give me the sticky stuff and let me kill them.
Sure. Again, the reason why Sierra Club loves you so much is chuck it in the landfill. And again, that would be, Pikes Peak is scary because there's no guard railing, and I guess at some point...
Well, it's got to be, you think about even scarier because you're like up looking over the edge.
You don't look that way.
You look in. But, yeah, I mean, there are places on that course where if you went over, you just keep going, right?
I think you might die of starvation before you died of impact.
Really? Yeah. I mean, you're caged up pretty damn good here, but you just feel like at a certain point you only spend so much time in a dryer. I, by the way, did climb into a dryer at a coin-op laundry place and trusted my buddy Ray. Once it latches, by the way,
how'd that work out for you? Let's cut to the chase.
It was not good. This is how bored we were. First off, we weren't 15. We were 19 and 20. We went to the Coin-Op Laundry in North Hollywood, and everyone took a shot in the dryer. And you want to talk about going from zero to panic. It shoots hot air up your ass. You're spinning around. Everything in it is metal. They have those fins.
Yeah.
And you feel so helpless because there's no handle on the inside. Once that thing latches from the outside, you're at the whim of the dude. They're doing this, and you're doing this. They ain't moving anything. They're not doing anything until they see either shit or vomit hit that glass. And they're just here to, you immediately go, you start yelling, I'm serious. I'm serious.
I can see Ray drop his pants on the glass while you're spinning around.
God.
Awful.
I started to think.
We love you, Ray.
Not that this is going to be bad omen, but I started to think, you could just kill somebody if you did this, and it'd be the worst death ever.
Stick a broom handle through the thing?
No, just literally, you just keep going until
the fins, man. I don't understand that, because how badly were you bruised out of that machine?
You try to brace yourself to hang on to the fins and push your back up like a mad cat, but it doesn't work. It's horrible. So anyway, if I ever did go shotgun and we did go off the side of Pikes Peak, I'd be thinking, Ray, let me out of this, Mr. Wizard. Well, Mike, this is, we got to fire it up.
Oh, yeah.
We got to fire it up. Yeah. Can we fire it up?
We can fire it up.
That's part of the plan.
This is a lot.
Wow. There you go. You thought you had a diesel gas.
And you put my excursion to shame.
Mike Ryan, where do people go, again, YouTube, after April 1st to find
we'll put links up when it becomes available
but,
as well.
If they want to send you an email or whatever.
Fasttrucks.com with one T. So F like Frank, AST like Tom, RUCKS, which is in terrible condition. I'm in the middle of rebuilding it, and hopefully I can get that done in the next week or two.
Mike, thank you for all that you do.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
I appreciate it so much, Sandy. Thank you.
Great having you out here.